First, homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tseng Kong. Homage to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa. And homage to Master Thubten Dorje. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of group practice today, Golden Mother of the primordial Jet Pond. So today is the birthday of Golden Mother. So here we would like to wish a very happy birthday to Golden Mother. May you live an infinite life and continually enjoy the offering of incense. Now let me sing a birthday song. Selamat ulang tahun. Indonesian means happy birthday. So Simu are Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, and directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today, law advisors to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma brother Ruo, Dharma sister Huang and their son, and a member of the professors group of True Buddha School, Dr. Liang Caofan, and producers for the Geni Tensang Shinten of CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma sister Rebecca Xiaqi, and from Taiping, Australia, Mr. Liang and his wife, Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and a representative to the council person from Taipei, Dharma Sister Hui Ling, from the Voices from Heaven choir group, Dharma Sister Lin and Dharma Sister Chen, from the Sunny Line Dance group, Miss Chen, Yen Ru, and Miss Toto. So good evening, everybody. How do you do? So today is the birthday of Golden Mother. Generally speaking, at the place where Golden Mother descends is in Taiwan, Kalinko, is Japanese, and that's called Hualien, the city of Hualien in Taiwan. She once descended there. And so that place became the Cihui Tang, the head temple of Cihui Tang, and Seng An Gong. So Cihui Tang is for Golden Mother, and the other one is called Seng An Gong Temple for the Wang Mu Nyang Nyang. So in Taiwan, there are many temples there, and based on what I know, there are chapters of Cihui Tang even in New York, America. It's all over the world. In Taiwan, in each village and each town, there would be Cihui Tang, the temple for Golden Mother. And Jiu-san was at the Hualien Sibi Bu Tang, which is the branch of the head temple there, at a place called Sibi, and it's called the Sibi chapter, or the rock wall chapter, which is a chapter of the head temple there. So Qiu-san went to the Yu Huang Gong, the Jade Emperor Temple in Taichung, and they're considered to be like a medium, which is invoking a spirit and to communicate with the living person. So they had this ritual for the meetings with the spirits. So my mother happened to visit the temple and I followed her, so we created this connection. So at the Yi Huang Gong, the Jade Emperor Temple, they also enshrined Golden Mother. So I had this affinity. And then later on, when I propagate the Buddha Dharma, although I have also studied Tantric Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and I had paid homage to many gurus, but I never forgot Golden Mother who started me on the path. So I never forgot about my origin or my root. I never forgot about my root. Many Buddhists, many great Buddhists ask me, now you have studied Buddhism, why don't you just follow the Buddha? And Golden Mother is considered a Taoist. Why do you still follow Golden Mother? But I replied that I would never forget about my root, because I was from the Cihui Tang. At that time, I also had the certificate from the Cihui Tang to become like a Taoist certificate or Taoist master. So because Golden Mother started me, enlightened me, so of course I couldn't forget about my origin. And I was once a Christian too, so I couldn't forget about that. So here at our head temple, we also enshrine Jesus Christ. That shows that I don't forget about my root. So at our head temple, we have a statue of Jesus and also Golden Mother. So for me, I would never forget about Golden Mother or Jesus, even after I studied Tantric Buddhism, or forget about the Mahayana sutras, because my root was like this. Whoever that started me or enlightened me, that I would respect them all the same, revere them. So I would never go against my own gurus. You can say that in my heart there is always the root, the origin. Like in the religious world, the most important is you should never defame your own gurus. You would never defame or slander your own roots. That's why I highly revere Jesus Christ, because there were a period of time where nobody knew where Jesus went. When he reappeared, he was wearing red robe and the same way slanted and a long piece of cloth wrapped around his body in either red or white, and that's the lama color, and nobody knew where he went and only knew when he reappeared. But the teaching that he gave was the same as Buddhism, very special. So if you read my new book, you would know I wrote it that Jesus Christ has what spiritual level Jesus Christ is at according to Buddhism. I wrote it in my newest book, number 256. The fruition level and the attainments of Jesus Christ I wrote in that book. And he said this statement: don't let the left hand knows what the right hand does, what good things right hand does. So that's the 3 Dharma seals of emptiness. Only this way you would be able to confirm the empty nature. And Jesus also said, if someone takes your outer coat, then you would give him the underwear. So that's compassion toward all, and that is giving the perfection, one of the perfection of 6 perfections. Jesus said, if someone slapped your right cheek, you give him the left cheek. That's endurance. That's part of the 6 paramitas. So Jesus had about giving or generosity. He also taught about patience and endurance, about diligence, about meditation, wisdom, and precepts. So he taught all 6 perfections. So I will write it in my book, that he proved that he had the spiritual attainment of the unborn endurance. So he gained the spiritual level of non-arising and the Dharma endurance. Oh, that sound of sneeze was as if saying, yay. So in our Buddhist studies, the most important thing is never to cheat your guru and to undermine the gurus. So if you do that in Tantayana, then you would be breaking your lineage. So lineage cannot be broken. So that's why Grandmaster's root cannot be broken either. So that's why my reverence toward Jesus and Christianity, my reverence towards Golden Mother are always on top of my head. So I never forget about them. So the first deity that I gained spiritual response with was Golden Mother. Once I gained spiritual union with one Dharma, then I also gained spiritual union with Amitabha, Siddhigarbha, Bodhisattva, and all the deities. So that's all interrelated. There is a rumor on the internet saying that Master Lien Ning used violence to hit living Buddha Lien Sheng. So this is really, what a joke. That's a succession. Nothing, no such thing ever happened. Anybody hitting me would have no lineage. How could he become the successor of True Buddha school? How could anyone without lineage become the successor of True Buddha school? So this never happened. So this is the rumors with no basis, which mean it's just based on people's imagination, or they may be connected to the ghosts. The ghosts were the ones who told him or her. So how could that be accurate? So that's rumors with no basis, for no reasons at all, because no such things ever happened. When I was young, when I was little, I had been beaten by my dad and my mom. Of course, sometimes when we were young, our parents would beat us because we didn't listen to them. Like we ran away from school, we didn't do our homework. Or we didn't pass our exams, didn't do our homeworks, then we would be beaten. And didn't tell them where I was going, and then I went swimming at the Shizuwan. So none of the gurus have ever beaten me, but they have scolded me. So because the gurus do that, you cannot do it back to them. No matter what the gurus do, so heavens, earth, the gentlemen, the close ones, and the gurus, we have to respect. So no matter what, my lineage is eternal, and the Dharma flow always exists because I'm respectful toward all the gurus who have taught me. So Lian Ning used violence to hit on the root guru. That's rumor with no basis. No such thing ever happened. There was one more thing. Was it also on the internet that mentioned about Master Lien Tien? That also doesn't exist. Let me simply tell you, to do such thing, you need to do it in a closed room. You can't see it. And I have tantric dharma that cannot be seen by the ghosts and the gods. So there's a way to not let the gods and ghosts see it. I've said it before. You open the lotus blossom and you're at its center, and then the lotus blossom would enclose you, and you cannot be seen by any ghosts and gods. But here on Golden Mother's birthday, in front of the altar, I would like to say that Master Lien Tien, and I are totally innocent, pure and clean, and no such thing ever happened. Well, of course, I don't care. I don't dare to say that I am innocent with Simu, because prior to ordination, I was married to her, and we give birth to Fo Qing and Fo Qi. Of course, we can say that we are innocent and clean, but we have relationship. But Master Lien Tien and I, on this Golden Mother's birthday, and Golden Mother is seated behind me, that Master Lien Tien and I are completely clean. This should be enough. So that's all rumors with no basis whatsoever. So I dare to say it here in front of the altar on Golden Mother's birthday. Only Grandmaster dared to do that. And because today is Golden Mother's birthday, and she's like my mother, of course, in front of my mother, I don't dare to lie. That's also a baseless rumors. But as you know, on the internet, it's quite a mess. I personally don't have cell phones or computers that can get on the internet. I don't also look at the tablets. I didn't know. I just heard they told me about this slanders, and I said it's fine because there are too many slanders on the internet. If I want to care about them, it's endless. So today is the Golden Mother's birthday. Most importantly here, we want to wish Golden Mother for an infinite life and eternally enjoying the offerings of incense. That her lineage would continually survive for all eternity. So today we will continue to talk about Lamdre. The 12 practices of the path is divided into the vase, secret, wisdom, the fourth level of empowerment. It talks about empowerments, the 20 practices of the path. And each of their path, realization, mission, the guiding of the consciousness at death, fruition, and 5 types of main ideas. This also talks about empowerments. The first level of empowerment is the vase empowerment. As we know, the vase empowerment, or this is the empowerment vase. Why we use the vase empowerment for the first level of empowerment? There's the peacock feather here, and a vessel filled with water, and sometimes the water is a special water made for empowerment. And I've said before, for empowerment, first the wisdom deity in the sky, and through your invocation and offering and sutra recitation, the wisdom deity descends upon your mandala. And the lineage root guru to invoke the wisdom deity that descended upon the mandala into the vase empowerment. And the deity now is in the empowerment vessel. And through the skin's pores, the deity emits the Dharma flow onto the empowerment water. And then the lineage root guru used the vessel to confer empowerments upon everybody. So the meaning of empowerment is from the sky to the mandala, from the mandala to the empowerment vessel, and inside the vessel to emit the Dharma flow onto the water, and then we use the water to empower everybody. This would be called the vase empowerment, the first level of empowerment. And vase empowerment includes, for the 4 preliminaries practice, the root guru yoga or the deity yoga. And the second level of empowerment, as written in the book, is the secret empowerment. Why is it called the secret empowerment? Because it is the empowerment inside the body to practice the qi channels and light drops. So this is called the second level of empowerment, the inner Tantra empowerment, to let you be able to practice Qi or vital energy and to open and flow freely in channels and to practice light drops above and inner fire below, and to practice the non-leaking Dharma. And from non-leaking, you practice inner fire, and by the function of Qi, you enter into the light drops, and the light drops would drip, and the inner fire would ascend, and the merging of water and fire to open the 5 chakras, and first open the heart chakra, and then all 5 chakras, including the top chakra or the crown chakra and the base chakra, and to open all 7 chakras. At this time, the light will be illuminated. The inner light of your body will be illuminated by relying on the crown water and inner fire as the ingredients for your spiritual practice. So that's the second level empowerment. That's called the secret empowerment. And the third level is the wisdom empowerment, or the highest yoga's tantra. So vase empowerment, secret empowerment, topmost secret empowerment, or wisdom empowerment. That's considered the highest yoga tantra empowerment for highest yoga tantra. And the empowerment vessel is different. It's considered as the touch empowerment. In the ancient time, the touch empowerment really used touch, but in the modern world it cannot be used, because now we have laws. We also use touch, but by use of a brush. And the second empowerment vessel for the secret empowerment is by use of red and white flowers. That's for the second level empowerment. Red and white empowerment. Red and white flowers. The red flower representing the red body, and the white flower symbolizes the white body. And for the third level empowerment, we use the brush to touch. And the fourth level empowerment, it was mentioned here, it did not, the fourth level empowerment, but it did not mention that it is the great perfection empowerment. When I was in Taiwan, I heard someone from Tainan, that's a short and ugly and dark woman, was helping Grandmaster to bestow fourth level empowerment upon people. She said, I don't know her, but she said she was very close to Grandmaster because she's really ugly, so of course it's impossible to be close with such a person. But I can't say it that way. Everybody is my disciple, but I wouldn't be so close to her, and I don't know her. Moreover, I don't know her. and she collected fees, and she said that I give her remote empowerment for the fourth level empowerment, and no such things had ever existed. You cannot overstep the empowerments. If you never receive the second level empowerment, which have to be bestowed personally by Grandmaster, that they cannot be bestowed by other Vajra masters. And there are many Vajra masters or Dharma masters who never received the second level empowerment. And then the third level empowerment, only very few Vajra masters that can do that. For the third level empowerment, he has to have fruition in the non-leaking Dharma and also gain enlightenment, truly enlightened. If you are truly enlightened, you can tell me exactly what your enlightenment is, then I confirm your enlightenment, then you can be bestowed the third level empowerment. And on top of that, you are non-leaking for men, that the man never emit semen. And for the woman, they don't have menstruations anymore. Only then they are allowed to receive the third level empowerment. And on top of that, you need to have been enlightened. That's the two key requirements, and then there are other requirements too in order to receive the third level empowerment. So only very few, even among the masters, both male and female masters. And those people who are never close to me, how could they ever receive the third level empowerment? And the fourth level empowerment, the great perfection, it's even harder, it's even impossible. I never talk about the perfect empowerment that has no rituals. Whoever would know that someone collecting fees and said that she was performing the empowerment on behalf of Grandmaster, and many disciples believe in her and give her a lot of money. How could that? So you give her money for ice creams in the summertime and blankets in the wintertime. These things. So empowerments go step by step. Vase empowerment, empowerment of the red and white flowers, touch empowerment, and the great perfection empowerment. And each of them has their own path, their realization, their missions, which is the key meaning of it, and also how to guide the consciousness at death and the fruition. So all these 5 key points. Let me first share jokes about Xiaoming. One time, school starts again. The summer vacation is over. So the first day back to school, Xiaoming returned to class, and everybody was seated in class, and Xiaoming was late, even on the first day back to school. And he's not only late, but he was in rags. He wasn't very tidy. His clothing were not tidy. So the teacher asked, "What happened to you?" And he said he was being robbed. Like today, the Brazilians steal and rob during the Olympics. And those are just small matters because I've been to Brazil and I know. So he said he was robbed, and the teacher asked, "What was it that were robbed?" And he replied, "Oh, my homework. All my homework from the summer vacations were being robbed." So let me tell you, in our Buddhist studies could never be robbed. If the Buddha is inside our hearts, it cannot be robbed no matter what. If you have the Buddha Dharma inside your heart, it cannot be stolen, cannot be taken away. I heard, because I never read on the internet. And before I even teach about Mahabala, you already have so many opinions about it. I haven't even started teaching it. And you already have so many opinions about it. Why don't you wait and listen to my Dharma teaching first? And they thought because in my new book that I write the practice procedure for Mahabala, but I haven't completed it because Grandmaster has so many secrets. Like when I was teaching Akala, I intentionally cut one word. Namo Samanto Vasalalan Han. But at that time, I take out the lan syllable. Why? Because I need to observe. Until everybody is stable, then I return the lan character into it. That was taught by my guru. That was my secret. So at that time, I couldn't transmit all Akala's Dharma immediately because Akala was an emanation of Vairocana. He was really supreme, and so like many Dharma, I would first transmit a part of it and then supplement it later. That's my secret because I will only transmit the Dharma at the right time, when the time is ripe. Master Thupten Dorji taught me two mantras that are different from the mantras that are circulating outside. And he told me, consider them to be your secret mantra, mantras that are different from the outside ones. And you should never make it public. And just give them these two mantras to good disciples, not to disciples with the bad hearts that's making troubles and creating problems. And in Chinese they all call X, like troublemaker. And only for the honest and reliable and faithful disciples, you can transmit to them. So what I wrote in the books have secrets. I cannot just transmit it haphazardly. You think that guiding consciousness at the bardo is easy. It's very difficult. There are lots of pith instructions. I didn't say about the visualization, and you just saw it from the outside. And with one finger opening the gate to heaven and blocking the path to the earth and to the human world, and blocking the path to the ghost, and then to open your crown so that at Bardo, when you leave your body, you would be able to meet your yidam, and the yidam would guide you. And when you see I do that, and saying that opening the gate to heaven, closing off the door to the earth and the path to the human and to the ghost, but I only saw me doing that from the outside. You don't know what I'm thinking or visualizing, so there's secret in there. That's why it's called the secret or the esoteric Buddhism or Tantrayana. It's not from the superficial level. The greatest principle in Tantrayana is, would you be able to invoke the deity to descend, and you're sure about it, and you cannot lie. If you lie about the deities descending, and that you would definitely fall into the three lower realms of hell, Harigus, and animal. You would definitely feel it if the deity descends upon your body. You would be able to see, to hear, or to feel it. Only then it would be authentic. If you lie, you cheat people, there's nothing I can do. In order to teach you how to guide the Bardo spirits to be reborn, it's not to do it, to do those things on the surface, and then ding ding tang tang, and you say that, oh, now it's gone to the Pure Land. It has to be transmitted in secret. That's just the so in the middle of the night, the husband heard the wife cries, and so what happened? Oh, the wife heard the husband cries. What happened? And he said, well, I dreamed that I'm marrying again. Isn't that good? You should be happy. Why are you sad? But the husband said, but on the wedding night, I lift up the wedding veil and it turned out it's you again. Oh my God. So another wedding in the dream. And lifting up the wedding veil, it turns out to be you again. No wonder he's crying. When we are in spiritual union with the Yidam, we can see, we can hear, and we can feel it. Someone asked Grandmaster, how do you classify the 10 spiritual grounds of Bodhisattvahood? And the 11th ground would be Buddhahood. And then to the 13th That's Vairocana Buddha. And the Adharma Buddha is the 16th spiritual ground. So how do you classify them? Is it like a piece of land? How do you divide them? No. When you reach a spiritual level, you would know, because you would have a certain feeling or sensation about it. It's not boasting. So if you gain spiritual response with Bodhisattva, as soon as you close your eyes, like Grandmaster now, so with that, Golden Mother has descended on your body. You need to be able to feel it. If I make an offering of lotus, you would be able to feel it in your body. As an offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They accepted the offering. So I can feel it. A little bit of feeling. You would know, but you would know. So like here, with the fingers, and then the fingers would open and close by themselves, and like earthquakes would be moving by themselves. Now I would like to ask you, what was just said, that Lian Ning used violence against Grandmaster. Was that true or false? And she gave the answer. That was false. So it's very simple. So the fingers movement, very simple. As long as she descended upon your palm and your palm and fingers would move by themselves. And when it's touching which fingers, that would mean certain things. So it's very simple. So for spiritual cultivation, consultation, please don't lie to me. Because I don't want to see through you, whether it's the truth or fake. Especially Golden Mother here is very accurate. I would know as soon as I ask. But I'd rather not ask her because I'd rather not know. Because I would feel better if I don't know. Why do I need to know? Because I would be troubled when I know, so I might as well not know. And then you think that, oh, it's so easy to cheat Grandmaster. I lied to him and he didn't even know. And of course he said, oh yeah, okay, right, everything is fine. Because I don't want to know, so I didn't consult it spiritually, because once I found out, then I may feel upset. Why do I want to upset myself? Isn't it better just to live happily? So what use is that to know ahead of time? Like some people would say, I know this and that, and please don't lie to me. But for me, I'd rather not know. So you calm, and Grandmaster would help you consult spiritually, but I don't consult for my own issues. I don't want to consult for my own issues. I don't want to know, like what I would encounter at what age. Like before, I knew ahead of time that going back to Taiwan, I would encounter 2 huge calamities and 3 small calamities, and they all happened. So I felt even more miserable knowing that, because she told me that you would know when you go back to Taiwan, you would have two huge calamities and 3 small calamities, and they did happen. So Grandmaster cellulitis was a huge calamity. And she predicted for me, and I said it publicly, that it will happen. So what use is that knowing ahead of time? It will happen anyway. So it's difficult to say sometimes. When the husband make a phone call, he said, oh, honey, can you send me your picture? And the wife said, why are you in such a hurry? And the husband replied, because I drank too much and I want to vomit it, but I couldn't. There are lots of things in this world that's really difficult to imagine. Things that are supposed to happen would happen. Things that's not supposed to happen, they will not happen. By knowing ahead of time, it would just add to your problems. It's better not to know about anything and not to care about anything. And do you guarantee that you would go to the Pure Land? Of course. Because Grandmaster has gained spiritual response, the Yidam will definitely appear in front of me. And in the least, the Yidam would guide me to the Pure Land. And I also practiced my inner Tantra to generate light. And I can even give my light other people. I can use my inner light to bless other people. When I generate my light, and in the future I can transform to become rainbow light, so this light can also manifest. So you would know whether you have the second level empowerment or whether you have third level empowerment. Are you qualified for them? You would know for yourself. Don't rely on some supernatural power with the ghosts or the gods. So ghosts also have supernatural power, although it's rather small. But gods have supernatural power, which is rather big, but still not going to the four sagely realms. So even when you have some supernatural power, you may not have the second, third, or fourth level empowerments. The most important thing is the manifestation or the appearance of your own inner light. Once you open your heart chakra, the light is inside the heart chakra. It would generate. Once you open the 5 chakras, your whole body is illuminated. And you save sentient beings by use of your inner light. This would be a true salvation of sentient beings or deliverance of the sentient beings. But not by use of the supernatural power relying on the ghosts and gods, or by hearing some guidance from the ghosts and gods. I heard in Taiwan, it was on the newspaper, there was a prediction that and there would be a big earthquake in Taiwan on which day. But let me tell you, so this person must have the power of prediction in order to say it. I mean, because he dared to say it. So, but it's not accurate. Why? Because the power was not that big. So he's only accurate about small matters, but not big matters. You know, because ghosts and gods are boasting. They like to boast. They like to brag. They know it's a short thing, they would say it long, exaggerate, or it's small matter, and they would exaggerate it to be big. So of course it's not accurate. And of course some of it is accurate. Although he said the earthquake in Taiwan, but there was an earthquake in Japan instead, because they're all on the earth. It's a different location and different time. So there are a lot of things in the world that's really, really amazing if you can prove yourself in spiritual union with the Yidam, and you can be assured that you can go to the Pure Land. That's most important. Whatever power you have, supernatural, this kind of power, doesn't matter. Grandmaster too has that kind of power, which is you take in anything fragrant and tasty, but the stinky and smelly thing comes out from the body. So it's not magic, it's for real. So don't you have that kind of power? Everybody does. Let me see what I will talk about tomorrow. things of the world is not a simple matter. So I have talked about this hearing from the ghosts and gods. You know, even your connection with the ghosts is already incredible. If you go to Thailand, and a guru would taught me how to raise small ghosts, and how, and then you bring the ghost home and keep it in secret, and then in a closed room you lit an incense, and with no breeze the lit incense would start to tremble. Have you seen it before? That the incense, the stick of incense would tremble. Or you stick a flag with the cloth that's drooping, and then when you pray for them, the cloth would wave, and you don't touch it, and there's no breeze, no wind, but the cloth would waver, which means that the spirit or the ghosts have come. So every day you call on him, call on his name, and invoking him, and you tell him that I'm going to do this business and help me make the deal. So the ghost would follow you. And that person at first didn't want to sign. And then all of a sudden, he was influenced and signed the contract, because the ghost entered into his mind and influenced him to sign the contract, and the deal was made. The same in business. If your shop nurture the little ghost, anybody walking by, passing by, would be attracted to your shop. You didn't want to buy anything, but all of a sudden you wanted to get in and buy something, because your hearts were influenced by the little ghost. Because once you entered the shop, you felt like you have to buy something. And then so the business became really good. So the same thing for entertainers. Many entertainers would raise this small ghost, which helped them with their popularity. And everybody would love him or her more and more. Although their singing is really not that good, and you don't understand. And the music were like mad people, and they would shake their heads and fainted, like if he opened the buttons of his shirt, all the girls would faint. So that's how incredible the little ghosts are. It's the same like hypnosis. So even one small ghost would have such great power. So just think how powerful the supernatural power with the ghosts, and especially with the God, is even greater. But even with this supernatural power, either with the ghosts or the gods, you would never be able to attain the bodhisattvahood. And if you're not assured that you can go to the Pure Land, you cannot become bodhisattva. So in our spiritual cultivation, the most important thing is to be real and to be firmly on the ground and steady and serious in our spiritual cultivation. tomorrow on August 21st, Sunday, 3 p.m.